Hey everybody, welcome back. If you've been wondering where this video has been for a week, it's just I haven't been feeling very good. I think I'm coming down with something again. Oh, fucking my luck, right? I mean, it makes sense. I work at a place where I have to deal with a lot of people, so it makes sense. I get all their fucking germs and shit. And one of the managers I worked with a couple days ago was sick, so I probably caught her fucking thing. Anyways, I just been feeling sick. I'm going to try to get 2 videos out, but not today. Today, I'm just going to record one, edit it, and post it tonight, and I'll do the other one tomorrow, because I just don't feel up to a whole hour. Ugh. Fucking, you always get sick at the worst fucking times, don't you?
Fuck. You know what irony is? I recognized the voice of Scootaloo, even though it was raspy, even through all of her coughing, and the mag clicking, and the roar of the wind all about her. Irony is that feeling I spent my whole damned childhood trying to get a cutie mark, and I don't even have it anymore. Irony is that I spent most of the last decade working to save Equestria from a megaspell end of the world. Scootaloo's voice cracked, followed by a barrage of wet, raspy coughs. And then it happened, and I wasn't even fucking here. Broke my damn wing in a stupid damn accident while practicing a new routine for the damn gallops. By the time I got out of the Hanoverian Pegasus clinic, it was all over. Irony is that I'm the one who made Sweetabelle the overmare stable too. I was beginning to worry about her. Now she's probably the only one of us who has survived. I. The recording was interrupted by another fit of coughing. Apple Bloom was supposed to be in Philadelphia. Can't even get near that place. The pony had died from the radiation in minutes. I was actually considering banging a hoof on Stable 2's door, but then I saw all the bodies. Sweetabelle did right. Didn't open the door for any pony. Can't let this poison in. Contaminate that whole stable. If I knocked, Sweetabelle might just open the door for me. And I can't let that happen. Fuck. I'm giving up my pit buck, leaving it here with a message. I figure if Apple Bloom survived, she'll come looking here. If not, some pony else will. Besides, I'm sick of it clicking. I don't need it yelling at me that the snow is radioactive, and I'm breathing poison. The air is fucking green. More coughing. Except for those weird pink swirls coming off Candlelight. When you see the air, you know it's bad. This time, the coughing fit lasted minutes.
Like, she's literally saying what I think. Like, you can see the air? That's not good. Like, I love that in stories and games where the character says exactly what you're thinking at the exact moment. Like in Metal Gear Revengeance, where Armstrong's like, I have a dream. It's because I have a dream. And then Raiden goes, what? Right at the exact moment everyone else does. The players and people watching, I mean. I love that shit. It's so good when it happens. And I was just thinking that right as Scootaloo talked. Like, it's such a good feeling when that happens. It's like the author or whoever can get right into the person who's reading mind. It's really good.
Fuck. That's blood. That's not good. They kept telling us the cloud curtain was for our own protection, keeping the radiation and megaspell pollution from getting into Pegasi cities. Who knew that they were telling the truth? Fuckers said the brand is to mark me a sun pony who's been below. Contaminated. Now I know that's horse apples. Told them that. Told them I was proud of what Rainbow Dash did. Called myself a Dashite. Boy, that got their feathers in a bunch. Irony is, I worked really hard to find a better way. Some kind of society or government or something that would be better. Wouldn't make the same damn mistakes that killed every pony. And I get trapped up there with a whole slew of ponies who seemed dedicated to finding the worst way ever. Even I wouldn't have tried an experiment like the Enclave. The stables aren't set up to fail. Hell, I'd give the Enclave a few months at most. Scootaloo's voice stopped, but no coughing this time.
That's gotta be really awkward for Scootaloo when she's watching from the afterlife. Again, if you, for some reason, just joining us here, instead of, you should go back and watch the first videos and then come up here. Because I talk about this, but I know how YouTube works and it's fucking weird. So, there's a chance. With Elysium and Tartarus being real places, Scootaloo in either one, or the Underworld, if she's just in between, because most souls go there, it's gonna be really fucking awkward for her. Like, my stables are set to not fail. I give the Enclave a couple months. Bitch, it's 200 years. The majority of stables have failed horribly. Horribly failed. And the Enclave is actually doing alright. They got power armor. They got fucking power armor. And the means to produce it. That... Again, I want a story in Fallout Equestria, but told in, like, the afterlife areas. Like, the Underworld, Tartarus, Elysium. I want a story told from there, and I want to see everyone's reactions to the shit going on here. I just want that. I want that so much. Because I want to know. I want to know what goes on in characters' heads. Ooh. Damn it. Still, it's gotta be really awkward for her.
Just harsh breathing. After a moment, she continued. If you find this before I'm gone. She was cut off by an explosive cough, followed by a few moments of silence, then a groan. If you find this, there's a shack marked on it. I traced Rainbow Dash to there. I think she's living there, or was recently. Wasn't there when I looked, but I'm heading back. Gonna wait there. Hope she returns. I should be there for her, like she's with me. Some pony should be there. Scootaloo coughed one final time. Just want Dash to know we didn't all. Just that she's not alone. I reverently placed the battered old pitbuck back into the Rock of Destiny where it had rested for nearly 2 centuries. The pitbuck of the first Dashite lay once again with the discarded treasures of Dashites to follow. All except for Calamity, whose relinquished possession of his old life we had come to reclaim. At Calamity's hooves lay the black carapace of Enclave armor. The tips of the built-in magical energy rifles flickered with a wicked light. "She don't rightly belong to me, I reckon," Calamity said. "They belong to Captain Deadshot Calamity of the Grand Pegasus Enclave, and he ain't around no more. But after seeing Velvet put on that zebra suit, I figure it's a mite stubborn and foolish of me to not at least drag her out and carry her around with us, in case things get bad enough to call for putting her back on."
Okay, when you see a unicorn wearing zebra legionary armor and a Pegasus and fucking... Well, I assume is their version of the X01 power armor with energy weapons, you know you encountered the player group. Because that is such a wide range of fucking armor and equipment.
Calamity looked up at us, face reddened under his rust-colored coat. "You know, since we have to repack everything anyway." I nodded, remembering the overturned Sky Bandit in the swath of scattered possessions. "So, my buck was a captain?" Velvet Remedy purred, wrapping the Enclave armor with her magic and floating it off the ground. My buck? I felt the stirrings of a chuckle. I'd been sure that Calamity would end up being Velvet Remedy's Calamity, not the other way around. But the mare certainly wasted no time. I smiled at both of them. This was good. The whole world was filled with so much bad. My friends needed some good, and I was glad they could find it in each other. I thought of Homage, and was thankful to her. Without Homage, I'm not sure my heart could have ever been so generous. Calamity stammered, blushing harder. "Do you want to talk about it?" Velvet asked gently, rubbing her head soothingly yet coaxingly against Calamity's neck as she floated the creepy black carapace to their side. Well, she's got quad Nova Surge rifles, my own design." "That's not what I meant." Calamity stared away. "I know." He turned back to her. "Really, there ain't much to tell. They made me captain, and with the promotion came new duties. I was assigned to lead a wing of scouts down below the cloud curtain." He saw my surprise and explained. "The Enclave ain't stupid. They've been sending scouts down here just about twice a year to get the lay of things for ages. Then they put out little reports telling the civilian ponies that the world down here ain't ready for us yet, or the air ain't breathable. Keeps every pony happy to just fritter away their lives above. Only that ain't how it is down here. Ain't been for a long time. And when I saw that, well, I kinda made waves. Then on my third patrol, I saw a bunch of raiders hitting a caravan. I knew it was coming. Your policy? Yep. Ordered my wing to take the raiders out. They refused. So afterwards, I had them locked up for insubordination. Higher-ups took unkindly to that. Told me they was giving me one chance to correct the path I was on, or there'd be hell to pay. Calamity snorted and dug at the ground with a hoof. They put me in front of an assembly to address every pony and tell 'em how there ain't nothing down there to save yet. Show 'em all just how much I was hitched to the party wagon. Velvet Remedy backed up and looked Calamity over. Well, that was foolish of them. Yep. Calamity's muzzle broke into a grin. I reckon it'd been so long since some pony had bucked the Enclave that they forgot it could happen. I stood right up there and told every pony what we needed to get down there now. He paused. Well, then, you know what I mean. Anyways, I told them I was leaving, and they were free to follow. Calamity lifted a hoof to scratch his mane under his hat. Didn't hear about how I was supposedly killed my own wing till about 6 months later. I remembered what Calamity had said back in Philadelphia. Most dictatorships I know of tend to go around hell and high water, either to discredit or destroy opposing voices like that. I trotted over and wrapped a foreleg around Calamity in a hug, which I note was a little tricky since he was a fair bit taller than me.
Sucks being short, don't it?
Something occurred to me. So, I asked Calamity as I dropped back to all four hooves. Most of the Pegasi don't realize what's going on down here, huh? They ain't bad ponies, little Pip, Calamity whinnied. They're just being bamboozled by the leaders. Even in the best of governments, the ponies at the top don't tell the rank and file what's actually going on. He trotted in place a little. You think the better folk in New Appaloosa have any ideas just how connected they were to Red Eyes? I remembered the way the ponies in Turnpike Tavern laughed at the notion of that buck on the Sprite Bots being any pony's leader. On the other side of the bottle cap, I was willing to bet Sweetie Belle didn't tell any pony in Stable 2 about the friends and relatives dying just outside the stable door, breaking their hooves against it as they begged to be let in. Hell, I was supposedly the leader of these ponies, and I was keeping secrets of my own. The truth about the mystery of peace and the megaspells came swiftly to mind. So, I suppose that Calamity's assertion was true. Lil Pip, if most of the ponies up there saw for themselves what's going on down here, they'd buck the damn Enclave and pony up to help. Calamity's confidence faltered. Well, most being at least more than half, I reckon. I felt an odd tug at one of my saddlebags. I turned to see Velvet Remedy's pit buck float out, enveloped by Velvet Remedy's magic. I watched the polished pit buck, with its custom engraving of Velvet Remedy's singing nightingale, glide across the air and gently sit itself down on the Rock of Destiny next to Scootaloo's. I hope it's not presumptuous, she said to Calamity, sounding slightly apprehensive. I'm not a Dashite, but I am leaving an old life behind, and it feels wrong to be taking something out without putting something in that place. Thank you kindly.
That's fair.
Calamity
That's
responded,
that's fair.
I brought up the inventory sorter on my pit buck, scrolling through it until I realized with a pang that I didn't have anything from my life in the stable to give up. I stared forlornly at the Rock of Destiny, feeling like I was failing somehow. I'd already left everything in Stable 2 behind. I probably would have sealed a picture of my mother up inside the rock, but I didn't even have that.
Your mother's kind of a bitch.
But I did have
so
something.
Don't soil the Rock of Destiny in such a way, little Pip, lest your luck score go down by 5 points.
Biting my lower lip, I pulled up the recipe for Party Time Mint Owls. I would give this up, but I didn't want any pony else to suffer from them as I had. The first night outside, I had discovered a message from Apple Bloom to Sweetie Belle which used a very special encryption. I used that now as I sent the recipe to Velvet Remedy's pit buck. No pony would be able to read the recipe without downloading it from both her pit buck and mine. I erased the recipe from my pit buck. Somehow, it was both liberating and frightening. Stable 2, I was leaving it again. This time it hurt worse, probably because I knew that I would never return, even though I could. I felt weary beyond simple exhaustion. The mental toll of the night
Again, I
before.
feel this is a gross miscalculation. I mean, stable, like we see in Fallout 4, a working, I want to call it a stable, a working vault that's still going because they did do the experiment, and thus it did not fuck up in the worst way ever. They trade with the outside. They trade non-radiated food and water, which is the important one, with everybody else. So traders constantly come and go. They're doing all right. I mean, the vault wasn't made to last that long, and it's falling apart because again, it wasn't made to last that long. But it's always it's that's I call it 82. Is it 82? It's been a little bit since I played Fallout 4. Okay, I just finished Tomb Raider, the Rise of the Tomb, whatever, the second one. So I might get back into it. But 87, 80, fuck, I don't remember. 89, it doesn't matter. 80 something. So like Stable 2. Okay, granted, they lost a lot of their population. They probably don't want to talk to outsiders anymore. So I feel this is a gross misallocation of potential resources that would really help people. Maybe you'll go into it later. I don't know.
Was compounding the physical expense of the battle, and of nearly dying once again. I stared at Calamity, who somehow managed to seem almost normal despite not only having gone through much the same, but also having been up for a full day, much of which was spent dragging the Sky Bandit. Almost normal. He had been ruthless, I was told, in hunting down the last of the Steel Rangers. I didn't begrudge him that. But this had been more than his code, more than his policy. We were his closest friends, and he'd taken the assault on our former home personally. Then again, with the exception of Zenith and Firelight, we all did. For our own reasons, at least. Calamity, I asked as I floated the Sky Bandit up off the ground. When we first met, you told me you didn't live in New Appaloosa. You said you had a little shack. I had a suspicion. Calamity landed on it and trotted in place. Now weightless, the passenger wagon rolled easily under his hoofs until he had it upright. Yep, he replied. And to answer the next question, yep to that too. Got the mark off the first Dashite's pit buck by linking it with my armor, just before giving it up. Did Rainbow Dash ever return to the shack? I mean, do you know? I don't reckon she did, Calamity stated, his words sending a wave of bitter sadness through my heart. When I got there, I found a Pegasus skeleton coat up in a corner which I buried out back. Figure if Rainbow Dash had come back, there would have been two. Another pang shot through my heart. Calamity had done better for Scootaloo than I had for, well, any pony who had passed on. I felt a steely resolve building within my sorrow. Before we go, we should bury the skeletons in the apple cellar tunnel, I said firmly. I know we're on the clock, but damn it if I'm going to leave here again without doing that. Calamity nodded, just like I knew he would. Velvet Remedy trotted closer, levitating another pile of scavenged goods. This would be so much easier if I had a find our stuff spell. You know, if we're taking all these detours, we might as well swing by my old place, Calamity suggested. I could gather up a few tools, and Little Pip could have a crack at the floor safe no pony's been able to open. There was a twinkle in his eyes when he said that. I heard Velvet stifle a snicker. I face-stuffed. Oh, now that's just not playing fair. The cleanup in the Rock of Destiny had already eaten the first hour of daylight, and the burials would take up more. We'd be lucky if we made Fetlock by sundown. But then, floor safe. A floor safe in a shack that both Rainbow Dash and Scootaloo had once called home, if extremely briefly, no less. The curious little pony in my head was prancing around eagerly, suggesting all sorts of possibly important or interesting things that might be inside.
I got mail. I'll look at it later.
You think you can use my weakness against me that easily? Yep. I hoof stomped. Okay, yes you can. But just this once. Yeah, sure. Ultimately, the burials added less than an hour to our departure time. Steelhooves outcasts weren't all painted and ready to leave until halfway through the effort. I'm glad you're finally with us, a paladin buck named Bitterbright told Steelhooves that they finally began to march into the Sky Bandit. It should have been sooner,
That's
Steelhooves
gonna
stated
be
grimly.
hell on Calamity's
I should
back.
have done this when there was a chance for a peaceful break. This will be a civil war, and a bloody one.
Paladin Bitterbright nodded. Star Paladin Crossroads has already locked Elder Cottage Cheese's communications down, and sent out warnings to those in the other contingents who would follow us. With any luck, they'll be able to slip away before word of what happened here reaches the other elders. I swallowed. What happens then? Paladin Bitterbright neighed. If we'd done this years ago, with an elder taking the lead, then those who believed the Steel Rangers should be following the Ministry Mare and helping the ponies of Equestria could simply have transferred to the new elder's contingent. We would have been looked upon poorly, but the voice of an elder is law. Now, the Steel Ranger outcast took a moment of silence before continuing. Now, we're seceding.
Bad
We're
shit.
traitors and mutineers. Once the elders learn of this, any within their ranks who empathize with us will be exterminated. Oh, Celestia grant mercy.
Hopefully,
Steelhooves added.
those who would join us can make it out before then. They'll be galloping towards Stable 29. We will need to have it secured by then, or they'll just be galloping into a trap.
Well, except for Trottingham. Night Strawberry Lemonade piped up, joining the conversation as she moved to stand uncomfortably close to Steelhooves. My friend looked around as if searching for some trivial task to give her. In Trottingham, there are more of us than there are of them. In Trottingham, I bet the Elder will be the one abandoning ship. The pony in my head whimpered, watching my actions ripple out into war and bloodshed. I'm so sorry. For what? Paladin Bitterbright asked. None of this is your fault or your doing, except that because of you and your friends, this squad isn't dead at Nova Ranger's hooves, or still trapped in that stable school waiting to die of thirst and starvation. He nickered. This battle started the moment Nova Ranger killed one of us and locked the others away, and that happened hours before any of you showed up. This is on her, and on us. Hell, we should be apologizing to you for not saying enough until after the others started slaughtering the poor pony folk in the Ministry Mayor's stable.
It's on me.
Steelhooves said with finality.
This has always been on me.
As he plodded past me, he lowered his helmet and whispered into my ear.
It's better that my child never knew me.
Blackwing and her talons flew with us part of the way, delivering news of their victory back to God.
That was a
along with the
weird
details of a 5-year
addition.
plan that the Overmare and Blackwing had
Why?
sketched out upon my suggestion.
Yeah, sure,
Now
we
I'm
should
just
stand
curious.
there.
Shut up, you. Now I'm curious, why did he say that? What bearing does that have on the current situation? Is that just a thing he said, or does it mean something more? I don't know, and that makes me anxious. Damn it.
With you at Stable 29,
No,
Steelhooves told Calamity.
this is an internal matter now.
I listened to DJ Pony's broadcast in my earbloom. But there had been no news of Stable 2 yet. Nothing that could forewarn the elders that their ranks were breaking. I prayed that the silence would last until I reached Homage. It was another stroke of luck that Calamity Shack was only a little bit out of our ways towards Fetlock and Manhattan. It was, however, completely in the opposite direction of Splendid Valley. I began to worry what Red Eye might be doing if we delayed too long. I was hoping that his twisted generosity would extend to giving me time to rest after everything I had gone through. What will we do once we reach Temponi Tower? Zenith questioned. Will Red Eye even let you go there? Night Strawberry Lemonade asked, moving to a bench near me. Steelhooves had managed to successfully maneuver behind several other Steel Rangers, preventing her from reaching him. I found the little dance amusing, partially because her voice was so cute, even more so coming from inside that fearsome armor, partially because it was finally some pony else's turn to feel a little uncomfortable. Red Eye has that place surrounded, I said, frowning. Shooting our way in would be a bad move, but we could try to sneak our way in. I recalled what Homage said in her fake letter to me. Then, later we can meet where we met before, and I promise. Well, no need to dwell on what she promised. The important part was, I know of a roof access that Red Eye's troops probably don't, and I believe Homage is watching for us to land there. The others nodded. Zenith looked a little concerned. Will they even allow a zebra inside? Homage will, I assured her. Zenith may not get the run of the tower, but there was no way we were leaving her out in the cold. As we approached the turning point for Calamity's shack, Blackwing swooped close, flying alongside the Sky Bandit. The Griffin signaled me. Do you think Gaudina will be satisfied with the payment? I called out over the rush of the wind. Blackwing barked a laugh. I think she'll be surprised. Disturbed, maybe. She was hoping for rights to draw from Stable 2's water talisman. Instead, she's getting an offer to move the entire...
Fucking call that! I knew that was like some valuable that would be addressed, because a water talisman that can continuously create pure water is valuable. Now, it sounds like Little Pip actually gave them something better or crazier, because Gaudina being disturbed, huh? But I love it when I can call shit like that. I mean, it's obvious that purified water is a big thing, and it would actually make sense for that to be a form of payment. It would actually make a lot of sense. But, I love that feeling.
Entire damn population of Stable 2, along with its most valuable assets to her domain.
Hold on, I didn't quite catch that. I have to go back. I was too excited.
Which is watching for us to land there. The others nodded. Zenith looked a little concerned. Will they even allow a zebra inside? Homage will, I assured her. Zenith may not get the run of the tower, but there was no way we were leaving her out in the cold. As we approached the turning point for Calamity's shack, Blackwing swooped close, flying alongside the Sky Bandit. The Griffin signaled me. Do you think Gaudina will be satisfied with the payment? I called out over the rush of the wind. Blackwing barked a laugh. I think she'll be surprised. Disturbed, maybe. She was hoping for rights to draw from Stable 2's water talisman. Instead, she's getting an offer to move the entire damn population of Stable 2, along with its most valuable assets, to her domain. As Velvet Remedy had determined, Stable 2 could not afford to remain isolated for much longer. The population needed to be genetically spread, to introduce new breeding stock from outside. But they couldn't just open the stable door.
I admit, the term breeding stock is kind of disturbing given the world we're in. But didn't I fucking mention this shit? Called that. Fucking called it.
Not with Stable 2 near the edge of the Everfree Forest and an hour's trot from Raider territory. They needed to move. Shattered Hoof provided additional population and safety. With this plan, the water talisman would be moved to Junction R7, and the entire subterranean apple orchard would be relocated to the mines underneath Shattered Hoof. The ponies of Stable 2 would start building homes in the land between Junction R7 and the old prison. It would be a massive undertaking, but then, Old Appaloosa had been built by Earth ponies in a single year. It felt odd knowing that my new home was going to become my old home. Within 5 years, Junction R7 was going to be the center of a town. I'm more worried about
That's
the delay,
upgrading your
called out.
stronghold right there.
It's going to be a few months at best before the ponies in Stable 2 can actually start to move. Right now, the area outside Stable 2 is just too dangerous. The Everfree Forest exodus, however, was just a part of the problem. I was even more worried about retaliation from the Steel Rangers.
Okay, we're about 30 minutes, and I think that's about good. I fucking called a lot of that. Oh, it's a good feeling when you're right. Okay, I'm starting to feel sick now. Good thing I got a trash can here, but I'm going to turn this off now. I'll either edit it now or I'll wait till later tonight to edit it, but it will be coming up tonight, which is the 2nd. So you might actually see it the morning of the 3rd. I don't care. I'm tired too. Anyways, such a good feeling. And poor embarrassed spirit of Scootaloo. She got it all wrong. It's gotta suck when you build all those stables to the idea that they will last and build new societies, and they fail. They don't just fail, they fail hard. Anyways, I just want a story told about the spirits in the underworld and Elysium and Tartarus and their take on the whole situation. I want it. You do not understand how much I